Hey everyone, it's Preston here again. I got a special guest today.
What's up? It's Garrett.
This is Garrett. He's on the trip with us, and we're just gonna have an honest conversation about what day 1/2 looked like. Day 1 of being here, but day 2 technically of our trip. The background is Tokyo, so a bunch of beautiful flowers over there, and we're on the campus that I was talking about, the Assemblies of God, Japan. So, yeah, Garrett, what was your favorite part of yesterday?
Favorite part was definitely walking around Shinjuku at night. That's like the part of Tokyo that you always see in the movies with all like the neon signs and stuff. So many people crossing the road and just hanging out everywhere. Saw a couple of street performers.
This was
Yeah.
we were it's
But
beautiful.
Yeah, more importantly, we really just learned a lot about the needs that the people that live in that city have. A lot of homeless people that you don't really see because they're kind of pushed out in the day. They don't really want you to see that. A lot of human sex trafficking goes on there,
Yes.
which is really sad.
Yeah, it was wild. There was pretty much on every street corner. It looked like around 20-year-old men who were obviously looking to poach and scout girls for trafficking. It was pretty clear as day once it was pointed out by the missionaries we were with. So that was wild.
Yeah, just lots of prayer needed for the people in especially the more urban areas of Tokyo, because a lot of dark stuff goes on, and you don't really see that from like Hollywood films or Instagram, that kind of thing. You see the more picturesque, more modern, retro, beautiful side of Tokyo, but there's a lot of dark places, a lot of dark things that really need prayer, really need ministered into, which is a big reason why we're here. So
Yeah, it was beautiful. I mean, the lights were amazing, but within the buildings and underneath what was happening and a couple roads over, there's one of the biggest red light districts in the world. It's like Amsterdam and then Japan is what we looked up, which is pretty crazy. There's also, they have a lot of these slot machines. Slots are very big in Japan, and so it's a lot of people looking to gamble. And we learned about this principle where it's the later you come home, the more productive you were. And so you can't come home late as a man.
you can't come home early.
Early.
Yeah.
Can't come home early. You get known as lazy and weak. So coming home late is actually better.
Yeah.
So they don't actually work all the time. Usually they work until a certain time, and then they go to these streets and gamble a lot, do these slots, and sometimes they even get caught up into the adultery scene that is in Japan too. So yes, on the outside it looks very beautiful, but on the inside there are some cracks, just as America is for sure. Like,
Yeah, everywhere.
it's definitely not perfect here, but it's perfect nowhere. So pray for the girls, especially. That was one of the things that broke my heart the most, just seeing guys actively looking to approach girls and get them to have conversations to try and lure them in to do whatever they want them to, I guess.
Yeah, there's a lot of especially young people like that run away from home come to these parts of Tokyo looking for a better life. So a lot of them are come here with nowhere to go. They're just homeless and looking for a quick buck. So it's like the prime market for these people these guys to come and poach girls, like you said. So just a lot of prayer and a lot of ministry needed there.
Yes, so this is actually a menu of prices, and the homeless there can go and get these like cheap reclining seats, just a room with like a reclining seat, and they stay there, and like that's their best
Like an
option. Internet cafe, and they have access to all the slots and all the adultery scene and all the things, and so basically they orient their life around this street, and then they pay a little bit of money each night to spend like 12 hours in a reclining seat and never have a home. So it's really sad.
Yeah.
Specifically, what the missionary said is because the family structure is so messed up in Japan, it causes a lot of people to run away from home because they don't feel loved. We heard a statistic that the average Japanese father spends 45 minutes a week with their children. And I asked a clarifying question. I was like, did you mean day or week? And they said week. And so that's very sad. And a broken family structure leads to broken people. And that's what we're seeing in a lot of these Japanese people.
Yeah.
In the morning, we also did something. We went to Tokyo University, and Garrett led a Bible study on Matthew 6:33, right?
6:33, yeah.
About seeking first the kingdom. We met with 4 people who have found Jesus in college. They actually, none of them were for Japan, but they all came to Tokyo University because it's such a prestigious university. Tokyo University is the best university in Japan, so it was really cool to get to talk to them. Their names were, if you want to pray for them, Lee, Wei.
I have them on my phone.
Yeah, while he's pulling it up, Garrett led an amazing Bible study, and we talked with this missionary named Susan. Susan's from Alabama, and she knows a lot about the people of Japan. She's fully fluent in Japanese, which is really good.
Yeah, it was Lee, Wei, Youngja, and Quentin.
Yeah, so if you could pray for them just to be strong in a space where there's not a lot of Christians around them. So, yeah, that was really cool. So after that, let's pull up a picture of Tokyo University.
Yes.
I got it.
I don't have any pictures of it outside. But...
Yeah, so those were the trees. It was very beautiful. And then after that, we prayer walked a little bit around Tokyo University.
Yeah.
We also ate these like preheated meals, which was really cool. I'll show you a picture of that.
Yeah, like school lunches.
School lunches, but very, very healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very cool. That's that. And then after that, we went to a Shinto shrine and then a Buddhist temple. This thing was massive. I'm pulling up a picture right now. This is it. And so Shinto and Buddhism are the biggest religion in Japan, and they're somewhat intermixed. Japan is mostly Shinto, which is a specific Japanese religion, which thinks that this tree has a god, these flowers over here have a god. Basically, everything has its own god, and us, ourselves, are God, and so we all are just kind of like God, and all roads, they have this saying that all streams lead back to Mount Fuji, so all of us are God in our own ways. And then Buddhism there's a bunch of different schools of Buddhism, but because the Chinese and was there another nation? There was another nation surrounding Japan that were very much Buddhist, and so Japan adopted the Buddhist values and kind of like merged it with Shinto. And so most people, when you ask them in the streets, like, are you Shinto or Buddhist? And they're like, I don't really know the difference. And so that's kind of what it is here, yeah.
And a lot of them, a lot of people are more like culturally religious as opposed to more like devout. So a lot of people aren't necessarily spiritual, but they believe that they're a part of this religion just because they're Japanese, and it's Japanese to be Shinto, it's Japanese to be all these things. So a lot of people aren't open to Christianity because they just have this perception of religion that, you know, that's the Western religion. Our Japanese religion is Shinto or Buddhism or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of a barrier to overcome, showing people that, you know, there is one God and he loves you and he actually wants to have a relationship with you, and it's more than just where you're from or who you are. You know, it's for everyone.
Yeah, as I said, they believe in the all streams lead to Mount Fuji. So they don't necessarily believe Christianity is false. They just believe it's for the West, and then Shintoism, Buddhism is for Japan.
Yeah.
And as much as that would be great, Jesus makes a bold claim, and he says, I'm the way, the truth, and the life, and no one comes to the Father except through me. So with that bold claim, it's either Jesus is the way or he's not. And so this merging view of that all roads can lead to God is just not something we find in the Bible. So that was very sad. While we were at the Buddhist temple, it's very beautiful. I'll pull up a couple more pictures.
Yeah, it's one of the bigger ones in the area, but they said it's actually more of a medium-sized one compared to all the rest that exist.
Yes, and they do a bunch of different practices to try to get favor or honor with their God. What was the one that stood out to you most?
Yeah, so they have this this sort of altar, I guess, that they come and drop coins into, and it's constructed so when you drop coins into it, it makes like a lot of noise and like a loud noise. And they also, when they bring these coins to the altar, they like clap when they give the money. The idea being that they're trying to like wake up God. They're trying to get God's attention. Be like, hey, I'm here. You know, bless me, grant my wishes, that kind of thing. Like they really feel like God doesn't see them normally, and they have to grab his attention by doing these things at the shrines and the temples.
Yeah, and that's much, obviously in Christianity we believe God he's not just always able to hear us, but he actually desires to hear us. There's a passage of scripture in John 15 that talks about the prodigal son, which talks about a child leaving and coming back. And instead of the child coming back and having to knock on the door and bang on the door and clap really loud, like these people believe, the father actually runs out to the child and encounters him. And so it really broke my heart.
Mm-hmm.
They were like trying to get their God's attention, but actually we believe Jesus wants our conversation. He wants to know all about us, and so he desires to be with us, and he truly loves when we talk to him. So it was really sad that these people were trying to wake up their quote-unquote gods and just obviously not really feeling like they did.
Yeah.
And so it's almost like they're in a canoe going downstream, and they know a waterfall is impending, and they're trying to grab onto these branches on the side, but they keep snapping. And so they keep going, and they keep going, and they keep clapping, and they keep being loud, trying to get the attention of the gods. But really, they need a rescue, which we obviously believe is Jesus. So yeah, it was very cool. Very. There's also another thing they did where they get these fortunes, and so they pay 100, 200 yen for these fortunes, and it can either be bad, poor, okay, good, and great. And so they truly believe that these fortunes talk about their life. So when they get it, if they get a great one, they're like, oh, I'm going to get the opportunities we have. I'm going to get a new house like I want to. And if they get a poor one, they're like, life's going to go bad for me. And they truly put value in it. So that was very interesting to see. And then what was the last thing? They had these gates.
Oh yeah, they have these pathways with tons of different gates that you walk through. They're like, you've probably seen pictures of them, these big like red arches, just stacked on top of each other. Yeah, like that. And each one of them has like a blessing or a wish written on the posts, so like especially for businesses, because a lot of like corporations donate these gates to the temple, and then they write wishes that they have for their business. So when you walk through them, you see like written on the posts, like, I wish that, you know, my business will be prosperous this year, that there won't be natural disasters, like that kind of thing. And then I guess when you walk through or under these gates, those are kind of spoken over you, those sort of blessings or wishes. But yeah,
it was wild. The temples are beautiful, like beautiful things, but we just don't believe they're the truth, or they're the way to get to God. And so it was sad to see so many people striving, obviously having a hole in their heart, but we just didn't believe they were getting that hole filled, because we don't believe in the gods they believe in. And so all this attention and all this beauty was trying to get God's attention and God's favor. Look at this sacrifice I'm making for you. Look how beautiful this place of worship is for you. Now will you come see me? And we just don't believe that God cares about that. We think God just loves us and wants to be with us.
Yeah.
And so last thing we did real quick is we went to this, it was in Tokyo City Hall. They have this free observatory at the top, like the 45th floor. And so we were able to look out on the city of Tokyo, and that actually was insane.
Yeah.
Tokyo is, like, people say it's big, but it is almost impossible to put into words how big it is. Here's a couple pictures, but you can't even see the vast majority of it. Here's a line of buildings. In that line, there's a super tall building, but the smaller buildings that you can't even probably see through the picture are the size of most skyscrapers in Columbus and Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's insane. Like, one street is like Columbus, and it just never ends. You can't see an ending to it.
You can't even see like the furthest edges of the city. It just goes on, and we're like, what, 45 floors, so really, really high up, and you still can't see the end.
Yes, it was completely wild. And the missionaries put it into perspective. Japan has the largest amount of people that live alone and are isolated and don't have hope, don't have peace. There's a specific form of depression they have. I forgot the name, so I'm going to pull it up. But it's called Hikikomori, and it's this depression where they literally can't get out of bed. Japan is, while it's super big and so many opportunities, it's the most lonely nation in the world, and there's a lot of people who need hope and joy. So that's why we're here, to hopefully spread hope and joy. It's the largest majority of people who say they're okay, but then end up not being okay and end up committing suicide. And one of our friends that was with us, her name was Grace, and she was talking to a college student yesterday, and she said she saw that they had cut themselves, which obviously that happens in America too, but it seems to be happening at a higher rate here than most. People are busy and isolated, and we were noticing on the trains it's completely quiet, and they actually tell you to be quiet. Like there's no wanting for conversation with strangers in community. It's very much I do my own thing, you do yours, and we get to the next place.
Yeah, we actually learned that the suicide rate here is higher than the rate of people getting baptized.
2 times, yeah.
Yeah, and
That's wild.
like he said, a lot of people get this such a deep depression that they don't come out of their homes even to like eat or anything for sometimes like decades. Like that's
Yeah.
how serious like the loneliness epidemic here is, and it really just goes to show like how desperately a culture is crying out for Christ when there's just such a small amount of him here,
Yeah.
amount of Christians here.
It's really sad. We'll let you guys go because we know you guys all have busy lives back home, but thanks for listening to our conversation, and let us know if you have any questions. This is Garrett, as you said earlier, and please be praying for us. We're going to another campus today, and then we're hanging out with students all night, so that'll be really fun. And just pray for Japan. These people they have a lot of opportunities to find the hope and peace, but a lot of them don't have it. And so there's a lot of joy in Japan, but there's also a lot of darkness. So please be praying for us and our safety and our team.
Yeah.
Sweet. Thank you.